Our question today, I have gotten this again, from a few different people, and this might be one thing that vegans disagree about. It is about honey. Some vegans eat honey, some vegans don't, as I'm sure you know. So this particular viewer has just kind of reached out and asked what your feelings are about honey.
Okay, well, I personally don't use honey, and largely for ethical vegan reasons. But like so many things in the vegan world and vegan philosophy, context evolves and changes. When I first came into the awareness of vegan ideals back in the 1980s, no question that taking the bees' honey is taking their winter food supply. It is exploitation of these animals, just like taking milk from a cow. You are taking her secretions, and honey is bee secretions, and let them be. That's their winter food supply, and it's really humans exploiting another animal species, and end of case. And that really resonated with me, and I have not been using honey ever since, knowingly. I'd say it may not appear in a dinner roll in a restaurant that I'm not aware of, but I ask about it. It seems to be a vegan product when they serve it, whether or not they know there's any honey in it. All that said, I'm concerned because of what's happening to the bees. You're probably aware that we are losing the bee population in North America. And there's many reasons why. A lot of it has to do with the insecticides we're spraying, the cutting down of or at least paving over pastures that would normally have flowers for the bees to pollinate. And there's a question about a true bee shortage. And for that reason, I began to at least open to the idea that maybe the beekeepers who are breeding more bees are really the bees' allies at this point. And if they're keeping the bees around, then that's a good thing for flowers that need pollination, ergo the foods that come to those flowers, so many of our fruits and vegetables. But as you drill down on it, they say, yeah, but Doc, you should also know that these honeybees are not natural to North America either. They were brought over from Europe, just the way cattle were brought over. These are industrial bees that were brought over to do the pollination. North America had hundreds of native bees here already. They're tiny, they're really small, but our native North American bees were here. And if the standard industrial honeybee disappears, they would say, well, good riddance. It was just like a cat, the longhorn cattle that were brought over. They don't really belong here. They're the same thing with these bees. Yeah, although we now have become dependent upon, all that lovely produce in your store of theirs is now dependent upon these bees. So there are other flies and other bees that can do the pollination, but not on the industrial scale that the current honeybees do. So welcome to the 21st century. Things, of course, the more you look at the telescopes get a little cloudy and foggy. They're hard to give you a clear reading on. If you just don't want to have anything to do with it, have a clear conscience, don't use honey. Just be done with it. And I'm still in that camp. But the rest has just been some context that there are other viewings of this and whether using the honey may help propagate these animals that in turn propagate our fruits and vegetables, and that we just recognize we've become dependent upon them. So bless the beekeepers for keeping them going. But again, you say, well, then you say bless the pig farmers because they're keeping the pigs going. No, it's that really gray area there. So all the way around, I just don't use honey, and I'm watching the honey wars play out here, the bee wars. I'm rooting for the bees, no matter what. So with so many other sweeteners available now, we found date syrup now that's really sweet and works just fine. Put my tea. So you might want to find non-honey sweeteners. There's plenty of them around. Hi everyone, Dr. Michael Klaper here, announcing our new format for our Q&A with Dr. K. Each day, Annie Hagen will be asking me one question that's been sent in by our viewers. So if you want to see if your question is getting answered, do join us for our daily Q&A with Dr. K right here. Hope to see you then.